Hi Panthers, and happy National Book Month. So within this video, a couple of our city years are just going to describe and summarize their favorite childhood book or one of their favorite childhood books. And I'm the one to start it off. I am a bookie, which means I love books. So I do not have only one favorite childhood book. I have a lot. But the one that I'm going to show you today and on this video is A Wrinkle in Time. A Wrinkle in Time is such a great book, and if you are like I was as a kid, and even now as an adult, I have a big imagination, a big imagination. So I love fiction books that allows me to imagine any and everything from my perspective. So A Wrinkle in Time is about two siblings who has a father who is a scientist. This father creates like this type of machine that's like a time traveling machine. The father ends up getting lost and has been missing for like 5 years. So the siblings plus one of their friends from school, they're accompanied by a friend from school, they go on this journey to find their dad. You know, of course, if your dad's missing for 5 years, or your mom or your grandparents, your friends or whatever, they're missing for 5 years, you miss them. You want to find out where they are. So this is what the two siblings do with the company of their friend from school, and they end up meeting 3 adults that help them along this way, that knows who they are due to their father and knowing their father's creation. So you have these 3 adults who help these kids find their dad. They end up finding their dad, but finding their dad is not an easy process. It's an obstacle. So there's a lot of things that happen within this book that can just broaden your horizons and have your imagination go wild. And it's just such a great book. It's just great. So I suggest that you all read A Wrinkle in Time, as well as watch the movie. The movie came out a couple of years ago, same title. And that kind of fulfilled my imagination and how I imagined this book to be as a kid. But happy National Book Month. Make sure you check out A Wrinkle in Time.
Hi Panthers, it's Miss Olivia. I just wanted to take a second and tell you guys about one of my favorite childhood books. It's called The Penderwicks, a summer tale of 4 sisters, 2 rabbits, and a very interesting boy. So the 4 sisters are Rosalind, Skye, Jane, and Batty, and together with their father, they go on a spectacular summer vacation. They find themselves in a place they've never been before. It's beautiful. They meet Jeffrey, our very interesting boy, and their soon-to-be best friend. They befriend rabbits, they eat delicious food, and most of all, they go on very fun adventures. This was one of my favorite books as a kid because I grew up as an only child in a pretty small family, so getting to read about lots of people having fun together was such a fun part of my childhood. So I highly suggest, if you have the time and you can find a copy, that you should check out The Penderwicks as soon as you can.
Hello, Panthers. I'm going to be talking to you a little about my favorite childhood books. So they come from the Blueford series. So I got this when I was in 6th grade. They talk a lot about life circumstances. These are like a bunch of black teenagers in high school, and they're going through life, and life is happening. And they have to find a way to manage the things that's going on around them that they have no control of. Some things they do have control of. It's about relationships with people around you, your parents, your classmates, other people in life, and the reason why these are my favorite books are because at the time I was reading them, I felt like they were things that I could relate to. The stories that the authors created, I could relate to. So, yeah, that's a little about my favorite series. Check it out if you get a chance.
Hey y'all, my name is Belinda Simmons, and I'm the Proud Impact Manager for the City of McClure team. My favorite book growing up was The Watsons Go to Birmingham, 1963. And this story follows a Black family who currently lives in Flint, Michigan. It's 5 of them: Walona, Daniel, and their 3 children, Byron, Kenny, and Joey. And this story just like follows them on their journey to Birmingham, Alabama. So the 3 kids, Kenny, who is the protagonist, who is very smart and like kind of quiet. Then we have the oldest, which is Byron, who more times than not gets in a lot of trouble and loves breaking the rules. And then we have Joey, who is the youngest little sister, who is super sensitive and very like loves to follow the rules, like very strict rule follower. In the story, in the beginning of the story, we see how things play out in like their elementary school. And Byron, who's like known as the school bully, he's just like causing trouble for people. And he was actually left back a couple of times, so he should have been in middle school by now. Well, he did something like really outrageous, and his parents had enough, so they decided that they want to send him to Walona's parents' house in Birmingham, Alabama. Again, like this story takes place in like 1963, so this is a time where like racism and segregation was like heavy, especially like in the South. So before they get to Birmingham, Alabama, the young children never really experience like racism firsthand, but as soon as they travel down to Birmingham, that's when they realize that like, well, like this is real, and they experience racism for the first time. In this story, they talk about a couple of historical events that happened, especially with the church that burned down with the 4 little girls in it. But this book is like really good. I love reading this when I was in school. It has a lot of great themes, and I think y'all should check it out. Bye.